Okay, guys, so yesterday what you did was you compared equations to lines. You looked at one function and compared it to another. You got the slope and the y-intercept from the equation, and you compared it to a graph. Today, you're going to also include the idea of getting the features from a chart. So we're going to look at the first one here. They're looking to have you compare function A's slope to function B's slope. And as you can see, right here is your slope. Right there is 2. When you're given in chart, what you're going to have to do is your slope formula. And it's really best to pick the 2 numbers that are the easiest to work with. So I'm going to do 17 minus -7 over 5 minus -3. That's your change in your y's or your change in your x. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Remember, when you're subtracting, you're adding the opposite. That should be a plus. Adding the opposite. So what you're going to have is 24 over 8, which is 3. So the slope of B is 3 and the slope of A is 2. So the slope of function 2 is in fact less than the slope of function B. So we're going to hit this guy right here. Okay. So now what they did was they gave you one that's in graph, and you can see that it's up 5 over 1. So the slope of B is 5. And then we have this guy over here. So if we take just a quick snapshot, let's see if we can do a quick little snapshot. And so what we would do here is take these 2 numbers and do 12 minus 4 and 6 minus 2. And you're going to have 8 over 4, which is 2. So that is your slope of A. So slope of A is 2. Slope of function B was 5. So slope A is less than slope B. So here we go again. And you'll pretty much be sort of doing this for a little bit, and then they'll change the feature up on you a little bit. So they're talking about the y-intercept this time. So the function A's intercept right here is at 5. And so I'm going to have to show you how to find it off the graph. So here we go. We have slope of A. We know is 5 because we were able to count that. And now we have this table right here. And I'm just going to quickly jot it down here. I'm going to show you how to find that y-intercept, okay? So if they asked us for the slope, you would just find the slope by using the 2 easiest numbers to work with. I'd say avoid negatives if you can. So 14 minus 9, 2 minus 1. So you're going to have 5 over 1, or just 5. Now, if they asked for the slope, we'd be done here, but they actually want the y-intercept. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So you're going to have to go into y equals mx plus b. Now, you know that this is the y-intercept. So you're going to pick one of the points you used in slope, and you are going to replace it for the x and y here. You're going to put the slope in there, and we're going to go find that y-intercept. So the first thing I'm going to replace is the slope. Then I'm going to use the point 19 here. So the x is 1, the y is 9. So I'm going to have 9 is equal to 5 plus b. And then I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, and b is going to be equal to 4. So slope, I'm sorry, not the slope of A, the y-intercept of A. Y-intercept of A was 5, my apologies. And the y-intercept of B is 4. So when we go back over here, the y-intercept of function A is greater than B. That is correct. Okay, back to slope again here. So you have, for function A, you have a slope of 5. And then I'm going to use these 2 points right here. So I'm going to use 3, 3, and 6, 9. So if you come right over here to where my work is, I'm going to do 9 minus 3, y minus y, x minus x. I'm going to have 6 over 3, which is 2. So the slope of function B is 2, and the slope of function A is 5, so A is greater than B. I apologize for my dogs. Hold on 1 second. Boys! Shh! Yokes! Stop. Okay, so we're back to y-intercept again. I'm glad this is happening on this one here. I'm going to kind of just chop down what I have written here. This is one of the drawbacks of remote learning, guys, is that I can't always guarantee my dogs are going to be quiet. Okay. So when we look at this here, they want us to do the y-intercept. So the easiest one for us to find is going to be in function B. It's not written there, so we know it's 0. So y-intercept for function B is 0. And then these are our points. So I'm going to use these two. Now, even though they're not asking about the slope, I need the slope to find the y-intercept. So I'm going to do the slope, and it's going to be 25 minus negative 2. And it's going to be 10 minus 1. So that is 27 over 9, which is 3. Now, I'm going to go into y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to put this 3 right here in place of the slope. I'm going to take this point right here. The x of that point is 1. The y of that point is negative 2. And then I'm going to solve for b. So now I have negative 2 is equal to 3. 3 plus b. I'll subtract 3 from both sides. So my y-intercept in this one is negative 5. So the y-intercept is negative 5. So function A's intercept is negative 5. Function B's is 0. So A's is less than B's. Okay. So what I'm hoping that you'll do is continue along this line. As you get a little more savvy, you might be able to see that this is 8 over 2, which is 4. So the slope of this is 4 and the slope on this is 3. So some of you will see that more quickly. Others will always have to use the formula. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to show you this one more, and then I think you pretty much have what you need to at least get you into the 80s on this. So the y-intercept on function B is negative 3. You can see it right there. So function B, the y-intercept is negative 3. And then I'm going to use these 2 points right here. Now, I know a little bit about that function, but I'll have you explore it with me. So we're going to do, we have negative 8 and negative 8. We have 5 and 5 and 10 and 10. Now, to me, it's a little obvious that the x's are equal to the y's. So if you see that, then you know y is equal to x. And if that's the case, because every y is equal to its x, then you know that the y-intercept is 0. Now, if you didn't know that, what you would do is you would do 10 minus 5 and 10 minus 5 for slope. And you would find that it's 1. It's going to be 5 over 5, which is 1. And then when you come to write it into y equals mx plus b, 1 will go here. And then you can use your 5 here and your 5 here. And you'll go find that b, which you know to be the y-intercept. So we'll subtract 5 from both sides, and you'll find that b is 0. So function A's y-intercept is 0, function B's y-intercept is -3. So A's intercept is bigger than B's intercept. So A is greater than B. Okay, so try to have a little fun with this. This is just one where you put in the values. This is no problem, I think, for any of you to substitute in. If you're looking to write the equation of the line, we could do it like this. Let me just show you one and see how you do. So for the function y equals 3x minus 4, that's function B. And function A is just giving you a series of points in chart. So we'll do -2, -8, 3 and 12, and 5, 20. And they want to know what happens when x is 1. Okay, so when x is 1, then the output is 3 minus 4, so y is -1. So that one's easy. This one's going to be a little trickier because you need to get to the equation. So we're going to do slope first. So we're going to do 20 minus 12 and 5 minus 3. So you're going to have 8 over 2, which is 4. Then you're going to have y is equal to mx plus b. We're going to find that y-intercept. So we're going to put the slope in here. I'm going to take the easiest of the points here, that 3, 12. I'm going to put the 3 in for the x and the 12 in for the y. This is 12. And I'll subtract it from both sides. So b is 0. Now, what does that mean? I'm going into y equals mx plus b, and now I'm just going to replace the slope and the y-intercept. Those are the two things we need to write the equation of a line. I hope you remember that from before we let out of school. And so now I have y is equal to 4x plus 0. So if I put in the 1 right here, I will find that y is 4. So it looks like the value of in function A, when 1 is placed in, you get 4. And when the input for B is 1, you get -1. So A being greater than B. All right, so hopefully you'll have some fun with this and email me if you have any questions. Try to get as close as you can to 85. If you get frustrated, please let me know and I'll try and help you. Thank you.